always say, where else would you rather be? That's been a saying I've had since I was at Piedmont. And, you can take that and put a funny spin on it. If you're calling a Division III baseball game and there's 50 people in the crowd on a random Tuesday night, and you can say, well, Brett, I could name you 100 places I'd rather be. But then you can also take a more serious approach on that and say, somebody who's in a deep, dark time, and it's like, where else would you rather be? Well, I would rather not be here, right? And I often thought that to myself, like I said, during my struggles I had after back, and probably the lowest place I've ever been in my entire life. But I think it's pertinent. I think when you ask yourself, where else would I rather be? Right here in this moment. Because the only place that you can be is right there. The only place you can be is where your feet are. The only place that is going to make tomorrow better is where you are today. The only place that makes you forget about yesterday and how bad it was is being right here today. And so that's kind of the mantra that started of an extra inning call where we walked off something, and I said that, but I really apply it to my life a lot. And now I think about it when I use it here, and I think about where else would I rather be? Well, nowhere. But how'd you get here? You got here from being in a really low spot. When you asked yourself that, you would rather be literally anywhere else. And then that's just how, I see the inspirational, I always read inspirational stuff. I try to at least once a day. Because, my life is as good as it's ever been. It doesn't mean you're not going to have a bad day, right? Yeah. And so I'll see stuff like, it always constantly reminds me to be where your feet are. Because you can never look too far forward. Even tomorrow sometimes is looking too far forward. Doesn't mean you shouldn't be planned out. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have your stuff together. But even looking to tomorrow can be too forward sometimes. But you also don't want to get caught up in what you did yesterday either. While you can be appreciative of your accomplishments and happy and gratifying, it can also start to inflate your ego a little bit. You can start to think you're better than you are. Or it can continue to drag you down if it's something bad. So where else would you rather be? Really nowhere. Because I want to be right here in this moment. And I want to continue to be better than I was yesterday and hopefully set myself up to be even better tomorrow.